Vasudevam Kansachanooramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. As we know well, the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita are understood on different levels by different seekers on the path. A commentator of exalted stature, like Sri Shankaracharya himself, at places gives more than one meanings. With respect to the portion that we are presently seeing, Adi Shankara says it could be a praise of Karma Yoga, which is we do things with a sense of dedication to God. We do things, our duties, with detachment from personal gratification. And that Karma Yoga could be the heart of these verses. But as we shall see today, Adi Shankara in his commentary also says, alternatively, these verses could be right away a praise of the ultimate jnana itself. For the distinction between karma yoga and jnana becomes blurred when someone truly goes to the heights of desirelessness. And what is more, karma yoga, when praised, can also be understood as something that leads to the highest knowledge, and whatever praise is offered to Karma Yoga can, in that sense, be taken as belonging to Jnana itself, the highest liberating knowledge itself. Therefore, as we saw last time, there was a beautiful definition. The 48th verse said, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. And then in the immediate last class, it was said, Krapanaha Falahetavaha. Those of us who sometimes, in spite of a whole lot of scriptural knowledge, yet remain attached to personal gratification. What will it do to me? My status, my name in the town, my fame, my pleasure, my sense gratifications, and so on. If we stick to that, then he says it is pitiable. The moment we make our happiness dependent upon external things that may make us smart in the world, but spiritually we are to be pitied. For as we advance spiritually, which is of course not to be taken for granted, please don't announce one morning, okay, today onwards I am going to look at myself as an advanced spiritual seeker. I hope all of you also will look at me as an advanced spiritual seeker. By announcing it like that, one doesn't become an advanced spiritual seeker. But when one knows, one knows. It is a matter of personal understanding. One sees, hey, how surprising, how interesting. I used to be so attached to these things, now I don't seem to be. I used to crave for this pleasure. I used to long for that company. I used to be so dependent, so much wanting such status, wanted to sit on that chair, wanted to see that place, wanted to have coffee at that wonderful lane, and whatever, small and big. And when you see almost miraculously, that you are up and alive, alert and agile, but some of those desires are absent in a very natural way without leaving behind a hurt or disappointment or wound or injury, etc. No negative emotion. Just like a person who has taken some medicine for fever gets up in the morning and finds, oh, I don't have fever now. And oh, no body pain also. Wow, I am so good. Now, when it happens, one knows. Otherwise, one may talk endlessly about these things. But at the end of it all, as some people say, at the end of the day, one still has various longings. 49 said, whether you like it or not, when you live a life of various longings for physical, emotional, and other gratifications, you are Kripana. You are to be pitied. In contrast to that, the state of desirelessness, where you have surrendered to God, where in the language of Jnana Yoga, also called Sankhya Yoga at places, you actually perceive yourself as the pure Satchit. When a desire tries to rise also, you will spontaneously ask, who has this desire? I am the pure self. I cannot have a desire like this. So, this desire is just some old residual thought rising, and let me look at it and let me not add energy to it. Speakers and writers sometimes talk about how when a thought arises, we do have a choice whether to lend energy to that thought or to stand back and watch. A very advanced exercise this is, and some people even connect an amount of willpower with this, whereas some others call it a matter of pure seeing. Whatever it is, in one case, you give energy. You allow that thought to hijack you. You allow that thought to take you somewhere. And even as you allow the thought rising in you to take you somewhere, one more terrible thing happens, mind you. The moment you have allowed that thought to carry you somewhere, the thought sucks your energy more and more. It's not that you just passively go with that thought. You become active, and you, the pure consciousness, are investing in a flimsy thought, and that thought then dictates terms to you. In contrast, in the second case, a thought may arise because of some residual impression, because of some vasana, and you notice it, but you somehow, it's a great skill, you somehow don't start riding on that thought. A huge wave rises, and what do you call it? Those who do skating, roller skating, those who take a skating board and go on water, which is very popular in Western countries. They go to the beach and do this skating on the water. Now they know the skill. Even as some huge wave rises, they somehow avoid getting toppled by that wave. They stay floating. They somehow stay above water. So is the game you and I have to play with thoughts. All kinds of thought will arise in us. But if we are slowly more cautious, we will have the skill of staying the witness staying as the Sakshi without letting thoughts on one hand take us away, on the other, I'll use the expression once more, suck our energy and get stronger and stronger. Our investment and this thought incorporated makes large profits at our cost. The pure self, as though, becomes invisible, imperceptible. It is the ego only that will be visible, and the ego enjoys a little, suffers a lot, and then the story continues. Now we move on to the 50th verse today, and this verse again talks about how once we have that outlook of true karma yoga. Let me tell you, though it may be a repetition, karma yoga has nothing to do with just quantity. It is quality. It is the way we do things, which should not be misunderstood as, all right, thank you for saying that, and I'm not going to do much here onwards, because it's not the quantity. So, saying that, you may become lazy, you may become a little bit lethargic. So, there is no room for lethargy or laziness in Karma Yoga. But if hurriedly you call somebody who is active from morning 6 to night 11, always on the run, if you say, yo, my brother in law is a karma yogi, all day he is working, hold on. Just to being active throughout the day does not make anybody karma yogi. It depends on whether this brother in law of yours is doing all that as an offering to God, as an offering to other people, or he is doing all that out of some personal ambition. Many a time, let me tell you, people remain active whole day because of fear. Sometimes they themselves don't know. They are afraid that somebody will have a negative image of theirs. Somebody will think he is lazy. To prevent some people from thinking we are lazy, we are on the run. We don't want people to think we are not doing anything. This is called confusion. Whom are you trying to impress? For whose sake are you riding, driving, running, chasing all day? Before whom are you pretending? Stop this life of pretending. Live life of being conscious of what is going on. So, to conclude that digression, merely remaining active for many, many hours during the day does not make karma yoga. Karma yoga is by the quality of absence of selfishness. And generally, those who are free of selfishness will work quite a few hours. Very rarely, someone would be sitting quietly. They will, a good karma yogi will be working in good quantity also, generally. Though that quantity is a secondary aspect. It is the quality of absence of selfishness which makes karma into karma yoga. The 50th verse talks about the benefits of a karma yogi or benefits that accrue to a karma yogi. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmat yogaya yujyasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. So the word buddhi is used. Earlier also, durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya. And it is exactly here with regard to the word buddhi that Adi Shankara himself says it could mean this way or it could mean that way. Leave alone ordinary people like us who look at Gita and wonder what Sri Krishna might be implying at a certain place. Adi Shankara, with vast and profound knowledge of the Vedas, the Vedic wisdom, wonders whether Sri Krishna meant by the word buddhi the Ishwararpana buddhi, which is one notch below the highest, or Sankhya buddhi, which is the highest, which is self knowledge. One could be working with clear self knowledge where one knows one is not the doer at all, or one notch below, one retains or one has the notion of being a doer, but one thinks one's outlook is such that this work I am doing, but this I am doing for God, no more for my pleasure or my coming to limelight, etc. Buddhi yukta, someone who has either of this very desirable outlook, jahati, just lets go of sukrita and dushkrita. Sukrita is punya, merit, dushkrita is papa, which is sin. Both merit and sin keep a distance from him or her. This person who has that really healthy outlook has nothing to take or lose from this world. Tasmad, since this is such a wonderful state, yogaya yujyasva. Arjuna, get engaged, get committed, subscribe, as modern commercial language goes. Sign up for Karma Yoga. If you have already subscribed, sign in now. So sign up and sign in and never sign out. Stay put in Karma Yoga, says Sri Krishna. Yoga Karma Sukhaushalam. And throws another beautiful definition of yoga at us. He says, finally, yoga is not so much about the external control of body or prana, breath, and so on. It is an internal state of mind where actions which normally bind us do not do so. Do not do so anymore. Our memory would tell us at that time, whoa, olden days, how easily I would become dependent in every relationship. How easily, even if I met somebody in a party, I would start dreaming about what I can get from that person and how that person can lead to wonderful career opportunities or business opportunities. When we are not karma yogis, anything we touch, we do with some desire. Anything beautiful we see, we say, how nice if I get it. A beautiful car, a beautiful house, a wonderful man, a pretty woman, some gold, silver, an opportunity in another company, in another organization. Anything we come to know, when we are not karma yogis, instantly the thought is, how can I get that? What she has, I would like to have. I would like to be the owner of that. I would like to enjoy this. I would like to enjoy that. So, wanting to enjoy, wanting to possess, wanting to control, wanting to have something at our command, etc., is the bane of human life. But here is a karma yogi who does things, buys, sells, meets people, socializes, goes places, or receives guests, but everything is written off same day. Your slate is kept clean, not easy. Your mind has no residues. You met somebody, man or woman, wonderful, and you come home, your mind is free. Even if somebody reminds you, wasn't that a very pretty woman? And this man says, I guess so. And again the thought just disappears, does not linger. Wasn't he such a handsome gentleman there? The lady who had attended a get together and come back says, yeah, he was good, very nice, handsome personality, spoke so well, conducted himself so well. Wonderful. Next moment, the mind is quiet. Is it easy? Normally, you and I, wherever we go, come back with some more hopes and desires, expectations and longings, and so on. Our vasanas act up, vasanas work, and we have sleepless nights sometimes. Some friend of ours has made so much money. We come to know in a get together. We come home and wonder, where did I go wrong? When we were classmates, I used to teach him biology. Now he has made 10 times more money than I have. Where did I go wrong? This is how the a yogi lives. Though in most of the cases, we have enough. We don't have to compare ourselves with somebody who has a 5 bedroom house. We have a 3 bedroom house, and that is more than enough for now. Only we, the two spouses, are living here. But then the problem is not with the size of the house. The problem is with these terrible vasanas. Yoga karma kaushalam. Now, Shankaracharya says, actions which usually bind you, do not do so. Relationships do not bind you. Meeting people do not bind you, does not bind you. Seeing attractive things does not cause some kind of residue in your mind afterwards, wanting to go next day and buy it and possess it and make it yours, etc. Such peace you enjoy. So, here itself, let me tell you, sometimes in a liberal translation, to make it attractive, it is said, yoga is dexterity in action. This is how Swami Chinmayananji himself translates it. And some people, without understanding Swamiji's spirit of translation, have criticized it. Oh, Swami Chinmayananji says yoga karma sukhaushalam is yoga is dexterity in action. Does it mean a pickpocket is a wonderful yogi? Because he is dexterous in whatever he does. That is irresponsible way of making a comment on a Mahatma, and it is not in good taste to pick on Swami Chinmayananji, who was, as all of us know, who was going around and making people take interest in Bhagavad Gita. So some of his translations are like the reception lobby of a company. It attracts. A receptionist has to speak in a certain way. And once you go into inside the company where the real business takes place, things are not so happy or pleasant, or let's say things are, they involve hard work. But the reception lobby in a company is very pretty, and the man or lady speaks very nicely. So some of these talks, some of the translations of someone like Swami Chinmayananji are to arouse interest. Yoga is dexterity in action. In no way he meant the mere skill of doing something fast and doing something efficiently. Of course, if you listen to him carefully, he then explains. The dexterity I mentioned is that skill where you remain untouched by gain and loss. You remain untouched by various prospects of enjoyment or suffering, your mind remains neutral. It takes cognizance of what is good, what is bad. The mind understands there is a lot of money over here, and over here there is a lot of risk. The mind understands, but it is not drawn to profit in a slavish manner, nor is it afraid of losses out of immature emotions. It looks at everything from more mature angles of view. What is the right thing to do here? What is my duty here? That would be the outlook of a mature mind. An immature mind throws to the winds ideas of duty and wants to settle for immediate gratification. Dharma or adharma, an immature mind settles for pleasure and pomp and show, glitter, glamour, whereas a mature mind puts all those glitter and glamour, pleasure and power to the back seat. Primarily, it says, hold on, is this right for me, for my family, for my organization? That is called Viveka. Therefore, out of Viveka, you and I can be active in the world but not get bound. We can avoid heartburns. We can avoid agitations. That is yoga. Let's see how Sri Shankaracharya explains this verse. Buddhi yukta samatva vishaya buddhya yukta. So he gives the meaning. It is the samatva vishaya buddhi. That is that state of mind, that way of seeing things, where success and failure are both all right, not a big issue. Maybe it's a little pinch of hurt if we fail, and a little pinch, if I may say, of elation. That's about it. Not to get too much stuck in that. Samatva buddhi, jahati, parityajati, abundance, lets go of. I avoid the ex translation give up. For years I used to translate Tyaga always as giving up. Until I won't go long on this, a scholar from United Kingdom edited one of my works, and wherever I translated Tyajati, Tyaga as give up, he struck it and wrote let go of. First I got irritated, then I agree with him because give up in English language more often is used in the context of you are trying to do something and then you find you can't manage, you give up. You are trying to lift a rock and then you give up, I can't. When the princes went to win the hand of Sita and Shiva Dhanush was kept over there, most of the princes tried to lift the Shiva Dhanush. It was so heavy, then they gave up. So that giving up is out of certain inability to get going. Therefore, the UK scholar who chanced upon my manuscript preferred that we rather use letting go, though it's a little two worded or three worded phrase. You let go of it out of generosity, out of a certain viveka, not because you cannot continue. You can, but you see that it is not meaningful at all. It's not wise. It's not good. It's not intelligence. So, parityajati, this person, lady or man, lets go of. What does he let go of? Sukrita, dushkrita, punya, papa. For her mind has become so pure, there is happiness inside her. Why should she get this car and become happy? And why should she be afraid of losing that house or some title? None of these matter. And Sukrita Dushkrita, of course, on another level, Punya Pape. For Punya and Papa are caused by our thoughts. If there are no negative thoughts, if there are no thoughts of attachment, if our relationships are not marked by possessiveness, she must do the way I tell her, he must do things the way I want him to do. This is possessiveness. So, when there is no possessiveness, then Sukrita and Dushkrita do not get created. It is our thoughts which create Punya and Papa. So Shankara rightly says, Sattva Shuddhi Jnana Prapti Dwarena. First there is Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhi is Chitta Shuddhi. Then Jnana Prapti. It's so wonderful to dwell on our own true nature as the pure self, that is Jnana. Yataha, because it is so, Tasmat, therefore, Samatva Buddhi Yogaya Yujyasva Ghatasva. Ghata here means engage. Engage again and again in Samatva Buddhi. No matter how much error, how many wrongs you have done all these days, start this new day with a gentle resolve. I will meet nice people, I will not get attached to them. I will meet irritating people also today, but I will not hate them or find fault with them. I'll notice their maybe not so good ways, but I will take them in my stride. I will avoid new attachments and new aversions. I don't want to create new friends or new enemies either. I wish to be in a state of love, state of acceptance of all. Then, of course, as per duty, I may engage some, involve some, join team somewhere, join hands with X or Y, and not join hands with A or B, purely on the basis of some work that needs to be done, not out of personal longings. Therefore, that kind of yoga is a great way to liberation. Now comes the definition. Yogo hi karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is dexterity, skill in the way we act. But what dexterity? In olden days, these typewriters used to be there, and somebody who types large number of words per minute was considered skilled. So, shall we say, whoever was typing fast those days, were yogis. Yoga, of course, has nothing to do with that skill. Whether it's pickpocket in a marketplace or typing, and these days too, there are lots of things, and that's where you and I get deceived sometimes. We find somebody very skilled in some work, and we imagine that person must be a wonderful human being. May not be. Some people who are good in maths, some who are good in economics, some people who may be very good in some hi-fi stuff, artificial intelligence. Somebody may introduce a young lady to you. You know, she is one of the greatest uh, experts in AI, artificial intelligence. She has come to our town to present a paper in an international conference on artificial intelligence. So you are awestruck. Really, at this young age, she is only 23 and she is presenting a paper on AI in such a conference? Wow, all that is good. But next question from Gita's point of view. So, can we say she is a yogi or yogini? That skill in AI or for matter any field, medical field, engineering field, sports, and you name it, in any field of profession or hobbies, etc. That external skill is wonderful in its own place, but it is not yoga. Somebody is a great gardener. Somebody is a great cook. Oh, the kind of recipes he or she makes, all are so tasty. Sorry, enough of examples. All of them are wonderful. If what we want to eat is a good meal, go to someone who cooks well. But if you want to be a yogi, don't go to either the expert in AI or the expert in cooking, not the math wizard, not even a Vedanta scholar who talks well. Talking well, writing well, etc., do not make a yogi. It is the entirety of life. It is real life. In situations of real life, does this person behave with maturity? That is yoga. Somebody may not speak a lot on Vedanta, but look at her or him, stay with that person for some time. And if you find that person who has not much grammar knowledge, does not know much Sanskrit, is not very knowledgeable on Brahma Sutras or something, but is very loving, very selfless, and has a certain, as they call it, ineffable peace about her. That lady is a yogi because even though she loses money here, gains there, gets praised here and insulted there, gets recognized over here but gets totally ignored at some other place. This lady, whoever it is so cheerful, really cheerful inside out, not just putting up a plastic smile. That is a yogi. Not the scholar who gets very upset where somewhere he is not invited on the stage. He walks away in disgust. Then what kind of Vedanta has he learned? So, you got the point, I hope. Yoga, Shankaracharya says so well. Swadharmakyeshu karmasu vartamanasya. When someone is vartamana, engaged in activities which are her or his swadharma, ya samatva buddhi, that staying equanimous, staying equal, siddhi asiddhyoho, in success or failure. And how does that come about? Constant Ishwararpita Chetastaya. Ishwararpita Chetaha is a mind devoted to Ishvara. That state is Ishwararpita Chetasta. Shukla means white, Shuklata is whiteness. Krishna means black, Krishnata is blackness. Ishwararpita Chetaha is a mind offered to God, and Ishwararpita Chetasta, add ta. In Sanskrit you add ta or tva, Shuklatva, Krishnatva, means gives that sense of what you have in English, ness. So the state of the mind being offered to God. Many times a whole lot of us who may know a lot of Vedanta, but we also do forget God. We think it is all our, it's all we are doing. And we spoke well, we wrote well, we received, much praise from such people. Oh, and so on. God. Then we slip from karma yoga. We may go to big cities, San Jose and Chicago, Delhi and Chennai, or London and Singapore, and give talks, and a lot of people attend. And if we think, not bad, I am now received as a good Vedanta teacher at so many places. The moment that thought arises, I am a good speaker, gone. Whereas without going to any such place, you are in small towns, without speaking in so called English, which is another confusion in life. You are speaking in Oriya or in Marathi, same your mother tongue, small villages, 20 people are attending, and sometimes you don't even get delicious food. Doesn't matter. Simple life. But whatever you are doing, this other Vedanta teacher, even while doing, she or he thinks, this is my offering to God. I am not here to become popular in this village. I am not here to hope for some big donation in this town. Those are all incidental in this way, not easy. So, without going long on it, I gave the example of Vedanta teachers. It can be anybody, anywhere, any work, including as in Mahabharata, you have Dharma Vyada, who used to sell meat, cut meat and sell. He had Ishwararpana Buddhi. He took care of his old parents. He did this Swadharma. He was playing a role in the society. And he had Ishwararpana Buddhi. He was not a Vedanta teacher or a professor of artificial intelligence in MIT. MIT artificial intelligence person, with due respect to his knowledge, could be way down on the spiritual scale if she or he is fretting and fuming at others getting recognized and he not getting recognized and so on. Ishwararpita chetastaya samatva buddhi tat kaushalam kushala bhava. Kushala is the adjective, skilled. Kushala bhava, being skillful. Taddi kaushalam, now comes the punchline. I love this sentence. And this is where we adore commentators like Adi Shankara. They are so clear. Taddi kaushalam, that alone is skill, says Adi Shankara. Yat bandhana swabhavani api karmani samatva buddhya swabhavat nivartante. Their swabhava, their nature normally is to bind you. But when you have the healthy outlook, they don't bind you. Normally, politics, to give an example, is a terrible field of work. Someone said long back, I think, politics is the last resort of a scoundrel. There was a statement long back. Politics is the last resort of a scoundrel. Who said? Irish writer. An Irish writer. Probably Oscar Wilde? Somebody else. Irish writer, I believe. Politics is the last resort of a scoundrel. But we do need politicians. If we get the right politician at helm of affairs, so much good for the country and others. Now, M.K. Gandhi was in politics. M.K. Gandhi moved in villages, moved amidst Harijans, moved amidst Sikh people. He interacted with wealthy people like Birlas and many others, accepted donation from them, promptly wrote little thanking notes to them. They are also, archived. Gandhiji's thanking note to people who donated to his good work. He kept in touch with so many people. Once in a while, we meet people whose father or grandfather had received letters from M.K. Gandhi. There was some Jangi Singh from a village near Varanasi, but he was doing some business in Kolkata. He sent some donation, wrote a little note to M.K. Gandhi, and promptly got a reply. And Mr. Jangi Singh became a Gandhian and lived, in Gandhian ways. Eventually wound up his business and came back to a very tiny village between Varanasi and Lucknow. Today, his son Gopal Singh, who was in Michigan for years and years in Kalamazoo, wound up everything, came back to that village in the name of his father, who was a tiny donor to M.K. Gandhi. Gopal Singh and his wife Kamala Singh run a beautiful school for girls, girl empowerment. Some 400 girls study in a clean, neat, beautiful school and receive the love of this NRI couple who have devoted their life to taking care of those girls. So, coming back, what binds one? Politics normally doesn't let any one of us remain honest. Most of us, if we get into politics within a couple of months, will find ourselves in terrible scenarios. Our hands somehow under some pressure, some temptation, some confusion will take bribe. Our hands will support some gunda somewhere. Our hands will, or our speech, our mind will do things. Then we'll say, oh my God, why did I get into politics? I was so happy as a doctor or engineer or a lawyer or a teacher, whatever I was doing. But Mahatma Gandhi, Ishwara Arpana for no matter what, at certain time, I guess in the evening, he would pray. During even a travel by car, we have some records of that. He would say, stop the car and take a short 5 minutes break and pray. That is how he won the respect of even Queen of England, Viceroys, XYZ. Not that Gandhi was 100% perfect. I have my own reservations. Probably some places he went wrong. No one is perfect. So by mentioning Gandhi, I'm not saying you and I should become 100% followers of Gandhi. There are lots of things, of course, we adore, we have to learn from MK Gandhi. So, Ishvara Arpana Buddhi is a magic. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. If you and I are suffering from any problem, laziness, lethargy, lust, greed, regrets, loneliness, anxiety, boredom, you name it, every one of them can be cured with Ishwararpana Buddhi. Ishwararpana Buddhi makes us who are presently ordinary people yogis. And it's not the external skill. I should not say again and again, but one last time. It's not the proficiency in any subject, any activity. They are all right. We do need them. Many of us, most of us in this group are earning a livelihood thanks to some skill that we have. Sometimes when I look at the disorder in my own life, I sometimes wonder how did I survive all these years. I have my own some disorder, disorganized laziness, and so on. Then I quietly recognize, oh, somehow I have survived. One thing is God's grace. I speak well, so people like you are here. And people like you imagine that I am on some high state of consciousness, etc. I am not. But some skills, speaking well, writing well, and one or two, we are able to stay afloat. Otherwise, somebody is good in engineering, somebody is very good in surgery, somebody is very good in. So they then get a certain livelihood, not only livelihood, they are respected in the society in spite of certain problems that they have. Doctors and engineers and attorneys and chartered accountants and swamis and lamas and everybody has some problems and their heart knows it. They may be very well received in the society. People may be falling at their feet, but that doesn't mean they are yogis yet. They have. So you and I have to look at, oh, so far, so good. People love me. Respect. I'm not talking of myself now. Anybody, any of you, sometimes feels grateful that society has been good to me by and large, and I'm happy in a way. But alas, there is a sorrow. There is an inadequacy. There is something which is aching my heart. How do I get out of it? This shloka gives you the key. Ishwararpana buddhi. Even 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Say to Ishvara, say to God, whatever is your will, thy will be done. As the saying goes in the Bible, thy will be done. I have no complaint. Please guide me. Get whatever you want me to do done through me. I am only an instrument in your hands. You get things written by me if I have to become an author. You get 500 surgeries done by me if I am a surgeon before I hang my boots. All of us in whichever field. Somebody is an entrepreneur, somebody is in Silicon Valley running a high-tech company. That person should pray God. God, so far so good, at least outwardly. Inside I am not happy, but it's up to you. You want me to work in this high-tech field for another 10 years? If you wish, so be it. But if you wish, next month I wind up everything and as per your wish, get busy with something else. Therefore, this is called a dialogue with God that you and I may do. Ishwararpana Buddhi. This Ishwararpana Buddhi is the heart of Karma Yoga. Many people may not understand Ishvara. In Buddhism, they don't recognize God. God bless them, I say. In Sanatana Dharma, which is a very comprehensive science, it is something that has given a place for everything. It accommodates Buddhism also, but it recognizes that great power called God. So Shankara says, by the samatva buddhi, which can come out of Ishwararpana, bandhana swabhavani, actions whose nature is to bind you, swabhavat nivartante. What a beautiful statement. You know, like you take poison, but suppose something is added to the poison, some special chemical, it goes in and does nothing to you. Poison that normally kills did not kill her, people say, because along with poison there was something which neutralized it, right? When Neem Karoli Baba took a handful of LSD, which this professor of Harvard, Richard Alpert, gave him very hesitatingly. Richard Alpert did not want to kill a yogi in India, but the yogi demanded, give it to me. And Richard Alpert, professor earlier with Harvard, gave handful of LSD. And Neem Karoli Baba in Nainital, near Nainital, swallowed it. His face got a bit contorted for a few seconds, I believe. That's about it. Then he digests it all and smiles at Alpert. Richard Alpert, as all of you know, became Ram Das for rest of his life, spread Sanatana Dharma in North America especially. Then Neem Karoli Baba explained to him. He didn't say Karma Yoga or this, he said, I have practiced some pranayama which is special. Because of my long practice of certain pranayama, I am able to take these things without them harming me. LSD, its swabhava is to take you into some hallucination, and in larger dose, a dose more than the safe limits can finish you off. But that LSD withdrew from its swabhava. Swabhavat nivartante. How? Neem Karoli Baba in Kenchi village near Nainital in Uttarakhand today in the Kumaon region had something about him. Like that, if you and I have something about us which is Ishwararpana, then nothing binds us. At the most, two tears from our eyes may drop. Then we get up and get going. Tasmat samatva buddhi yukta bhavatvam. Therefore, O Arjuna, become equanimous. Have a broad outlook. Be broad minded and take everything in perspective. It is God's will. Even you are being lusty or greedy, lazy or disorderly, you are being, a liar at this moment, you are being whatever, terrible thing. It is also Ishvara Icha. Right now, Ishvara is getting you to play some weird role. Like in Shakespeare's play, there are liars and jokers and deceivers and everybody. In any play, it is Shakespeare's wish. He creates a character who lies, who deceives, who hurts, who lets people down, who is not loyal. Shakespeare's wish. Like that, it is God's wish that so far, or even at this time, probably one of you, alas, is lying, deceiving, not transparent, not open, not pure minded, showing something, being something. Say, God, this is what you wanted me to play so far. It's up to you to change me to a sattvic, pious, pure hearted, good sadhaka. If you do not wish, if you want my whole life to be like this, a liar, so be it, if that gives you the pleasure. If Shakespeare gets pleasure by creating a crooked character, it is his wish. In this way, samatva buddhi yukto bhava. That surrender can work like alchemy, turning base metal to gold. Gita has all these suggestions in its shlokas. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.